Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy last Monday in August. Welcome to Energize Live. Wow, I am almost out of my collagen. We're going to have some extra collagen this morning. How are you this morning? Welcome to Energize Live. This is where we make magic in the mornings. We hang out here together several times a week. Right here. I need restocking on everything, y'all. Like, everything needs to be restocked. And if you are showing up here this morning on a Monday morning, the last Monday morning in August, the last Monday morning in August, if you are showing up here at 6:15 a.m., maybe a couple minutes late because we had to feed Lady. She was having her breakdown of not sure she was going to be able to survive if she didn't get her food. But if you show up here at 6:15 on a Monday morning on Instagram Live to hang out with this community, like, you are a doer. You're a dreamer, but you're a doer. You are someone who's got goals and dreams, and you want to be in a high vibe community. You want to create your life on purpose with purpose, because you don't just show up on Instagram randomly at 6:15 a.m. Like, you came here on purpose. And if you did happen to stumble upon us randomly, it wasn't random. You were meant to be here. And so right out of the gate on this Monday morning, let's be proud of yourselves. Be proud that you showed up here on a Monday morning. You deliberately and intentionally tapped into a community of high vibe humans who are also showing up on a Monday morning. That says a lot about you. And then what you do with it afterwards says a lot about who you want to become, right? So, good morning. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to get some ice, as one does. And what I need to know from you this morning is, A, how are you? Listen, I just did my daily dose of real talk. I'll tell you what it says, too, in just a minute. But I've got to get some ice. And while I'm doing that, will you do me a huge favor? And will you put something fun that you did over the weekend? And then I got to tell you about some podcasts, and we're going to talk a little bit about coaching. But I got to tell you about a book I'm reading. I have a lot to share with you this morning. I feel like we haven't talked for a while. We talked on Friday, though. It just always feels like I have so much to share with you. I'm going to get some ice. So tell me something fun that you did over the weekend while I get some ice. Tell me something fun that you did over the weekend. Something fun. Ooh, Sweet Caroline, who is at some point going to change her Instagram handle for me, just to her name, got a new Jeep. That's exciting. That's so fun. Started a new PD book. Laura J, I love that. I love that you started a new PD book. But what else did you do that was exciting? You didn't just get a new book over the weekend. Why? I've seen that book. Matthew Walker has a masterclass too on the app. Masterclass, really good. Dinner and night out with neighbors and friends. Neighborhood blog party. How fun is that? That is so fun. You went away. It is kind of the end of summer, isn't it? Like, that was the last Saturday in August, which kind of means like, okay, summer's over. High school reunion. Is that fun or is that stressful? I'm always so interested in what people think about their high school reunions. Is that fun or is that stressful? You know, I grew up in a town the size of my pinky nail, and there were like 90 people in my graduating class. Here's a fun fact. I went to kindergarten through 8th grade in the same, I'm not making this up, red brick building. The same red brick schoolhouse, kindergarten through 8th grade. I sure did. And it was where I lived was a block, it was 2 blocks from my house. I walked to school, kindergarten through 8th grade. Every day I walked to school. I could walk home for lunch. Tiny little town. Went to a wedding, first one in real life for a long time. Met your new puppy, met with a college friend. I saw your picture, Kendria. That's so fun. Listen, you went and watered a bookstore. I love that so much. Went out on a boat. You went camping. Went to visit your 2 children. Wake surfing. My husband's birthday was Saturday too. Got together with lifelong friends. That's so fun. So we had some good time over the weekend. I love this. We had some good, wow. 45 people in yours. Yeah, tiny little towns. Okay, so we had some good stuff over the weekend. Good, I'm glad, because well, I'll share something with you that I did, and I asked this question because I want you to always be thinking about what is inspiring you and what fills your cup. It's so interesting to me sometimes when I ask women what inspires you, and they always say their children. I'm like, that's not what I asked you. I said, what inspires you? You as a human being. You as a human being. You as a human being person. And on Saturday, my friend Allie, who lives here in Windermere, also came over, and we had a Zoom for the coaches on my team and her team, and people could, it was a bring your own workout. Just bring your own workout. So everyone did their own workout, but we did a Zoom, and everyone was kind of working out together, But Allie and I in my garage did freaking old school Turbo Fire. I mean, we pulled up Beachbody On Demand. We pulled up Turbo Fire, Chalene John, because Allie and I we both taught Turbo Kick in the gyms. We were both master trainers for Turbo. We were both master trainers for Chalene. So like Turbo's our jam. It's our old school jam. And we pulled that up on my TV, and we did Turbo together in my garage. And it was like everything. It was so much fun. And we were like, if you watch some of the video clips of us, we're twisting, and we are laughing so hard because we're telling stories while we were working out. We were talking about how, we used to do these 10-hour long Turbo Kick trainings, like legit. We would show up. It was like 10 hours long, and then they would take tests, and I'd have to go home and grade tests for them in order to be instructors. And the entire time that I was doing these 10-hour long Turbo Kick trainings, we were wearing Nike Shox. So it was like we were wearing freaking stilettos when we were doing these 10-hour long trainings. And if some of the video, we couldn't even, because we were laughing so hard. We were talking about, and then you'd get in the car, and as soon as you got done with your 10-hour training, like what you would eat, because you hadn't eaten all day. It was just craziness. And that was it was so much fun, and it was so much joy. And it just reminds me how much we have to be intentional about the joy in our life, and having these events and these people and these relationships and these opportunities in our life that just recharge and energize us. And I do want to say this because I want to share a podcast with you. So the podcast is called, I'm going to type it in the comments, okay? The podcast is called, and maybe some of you listen to it, it's called The Skinny Confidential. Okay, that's the name of the podcast, The Skinny Confidential. The episode I want you to listen to is her most recent episode with Gabby Reece. Now, The Skinny Confidential is not my most favorite podcast, but Gabby Reece is one of my most favorite humans. And so when I saw that pop up, I listened to it. There's a little bit of language in it, so just be aware of that. But it's a husband-wife. The Skinny Confidential is a husband-wife, and they interview, they have big time people on their podcast. So they had Gabby Reece on there. And they were talking about this concept of fun and joy in your life. Hold, please. And I am such a huge advocate of women making sure that you're doing something that inspires you. So honestly, if I ask you that question right now, what inspires you? What fills your cup? Can you tell me something that is unrelated to your family and unrelated to your business? Can you tell me something unrelated to your family, unrelated to your business, that you do, that fills your cup, that brings you joy, that inspires you, that lights you up? Can you tell me something? And they were talking about that on this podcast, and this idea of fun and having fun, and that there are some people in the world who need more fun in their lives, and some people in the world who just sort of need less fun in their lives. But across the board, everybody needs the stuff in their life that inspires them as just their own human being person. And I'm a person who doesn't need a ton of fun. You know what I mean? I don't need a ton of fun. And I'm super simple in my fun. That gym workout with my friend Allie doing old school Turbo, that filled my bucket. Super, super simple. Other people need more extravagant, like fun situations, or they need to have it more often or do it more often. And there's no wrong or right. It's just such an interesting discussion. So I highly recommend that, that podcast for so many reasons. I'm going to talk to you about even more reasons. And that's one of them. So I recommend that because they talk about fun and making sure you get what you need in your life of fun to inspire you as a human being person. I'm going to say it again, because no, positive Damaris. Also, I need you to change your Instagram handle. No, that has to do with your business. No, I want to know something that inspires you. It has nothing to do with your children or your business or anything. For me, okay, here's one. Laura says you've got concerts. And concerts have nothing to do with your business, your work, your family. You might experience them with your family or your children or whatever, but there's something about seeing live music that inspires you, that fills your bucket. That's what I'm talking about. Like, what is it that inspires you? That gym workout, that live with a friend, old school turbo gym workout was super inspiring. And you have to know how much fun you need in your life, and then you've got to get intentional about getting it in your life, because it transfers over into everything else you do. Everything else you do. Okay, so that was one piece from the podcast that I thought was so good. Another piece from the podcast was they talked about female friendships. And Gabby said that, Gabby Reese has her own podcast. And one of her guests on her podcast was Jim Quick, who wrote the book. He's got this amazing book, very much an expert on memory and the brain, etc. Maybe Jim Quick. And Jim Quick said on Gabby Reese's podcast that everyone's walking around with this question in their life. And you're constantly trying to answer this question. And Gabby said, I know what mine is. Mine is, what's the point? That's Gabby's question that she's kind of walking around all the time when something's happening, what's going on, what's the point? And it's not a negative question to like, what's the point of this that we're doing? And then they applied that specifically to female friendships. And when they talked about it, I felt it to the depths of my soul. Literally, I felt it so hard because, as Gabby said, like, I'm not going to meet you to do a martini lunch or a girls' night out pedicure or dinner. She goes, no, if we're going to meet up, like when I hang out with my friends, we're probably training, we're probably walking, there's something going on. And I'm like, thank you for saying that. Because, and the way I've always thought about it, this is how I've always thought about it in my head. I don't want to hang out with ladies who lunch. I want to hang out with ladies who launch. It's a big difference in my head. And when they were talking about that, I'm like, yes, because for Gabby Reese, her question that she walks around with is, what's the point? And I'm like, I feel like that's my question too. Like, what's the point? What are we doing here? What's the point? What are we doing here? And sometimes what's the point is answered by, well, we're just having fun. And we're relaxing and reading a book. And that's okay. However, our energy expenditure, our time, our time is so precious. I don't want to sit at a restaurant drinking martinis. I don't drink anyway, but drinking martinis or do whatever. And I don't need a girls' night. I don't need a girls' weekend or any of that. I need girl time. I need women time, but I don't need like this. Let's go to Vegas. Like that is, no. I don't want ladies who lunch. I want ladies who launch businesses and ideas and dreams. That's what I want. And so when they were talking about that, they were just talking about this whole idea of female friendship. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so good. So I'm going to encourage you to go listen to that for that. And then also just the way she keeps health and fitness so simple and just, we don't have to be so precious about it, And I think that is where a lot of women get off track. It gets so precious. It gets so, I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. And if one little piece of this routine gets off, it feels like the whole thing implodes. And so I really enjoyed listening to Gabby, who really health and fitness is her life. She and her husband, both Laird Hamilton, just be kind of calm and grounded in it all. It's so good. So I highly recommend that podcast. And I highly recommend this book too, called The Soul of Money. I'm reading this book called The Soul of Money. So good. I can't even tell you how good it is. It's so good. It's so good, talking about how women's intentions and attitudes around money really reflect their intentions and attitudes about a lot in life, and how our relationship to money has a lot to do with just our lives in general. It's so good. You must go get it. It's in paperback. Go to Amazon right now and go get it. It's so good. I am just highlighting it. And I read about a chapter at a time, and how everything that we think of around money is how we think about everything else in our life. So I highly recommend that. So I'm sharing all this with you because I told you we were going to talk about coaching today. I'm sharing all this with you because, it feels like, and I said this last night on Instagram stories, it feels like sometimes people get wonky in their heads, or like, oh, let's do a coaching Q&A, or I would love to share with you more about this business that I've been a part of for 14 years. Let's talk about coaching. We're like, no, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. And then we'll get on Energize Live. And first of all, I have 3 pages of comments when I said, what do you want to talk about? 3 pages of comments going, tell me more about coaching. So clearly people want to know more about coaching. But we get on Energize Live and we have these deep, heartfelt conversations. You show up here because you want to be tapped into a community that's having deep, meaningful conversations, and not a lady who lunches, right? Like, no one's hanging out with me because they want to hang out with a lady who lunch. It's pretty clear from the get-go, I am not a lady who lunches. I am a lady who wants to launch a lot of things. When was the last time you saw me like hanging out, just having lunch with? No, like we're working out, or we're on a walk, or we're doing a mastermind, or okay, I digress. So we get on here and we have these deep, meaningful, heartfelt conversations. And then I'll say, okay, let's talk about coaching. Oh no, I can't do that coaching thing. Do you understand that everything I share with you has come from the past 14 and a half years of coaching? Because do you know what coaching is? It's a personal growth business that you also happen to be able to get healthy and fit and make some money. Did you know that? That's what coaching is. That's what being a Team Beachbody coach, that's what partnering with our team, that's what saying yes to this opportunity is. It's a personal growth business. Because all the wonky mindset bullshit stuff that's in your head about money and making money, about success and having success and creating success, about selling, you're in sales all the time, right? Are you a parent? You're in sales. Newsflash. Personal growth, relationships, your relationship with food, your relationship with fitness, your relationship with yourself, your inner dialogue, how to collaborate, your relationships with other women. Like literally every single part of your life is coaching, because that's the pillar of what we do. The pillar of what we do is personal growth. We also get to live our healthiest life, and we get to make money. And the pillar of it all is personal growth, because none of this happens without personal growth. You're not building a business, and newsflash, you're not building a life without personal growth. You and I both know, think of someone right now. You and I both know someone right now, you can think of them in your head right now, someone who's like, they need some personal growth. Like, right? I can tell you exactly who it is. You're usually related to them. And what this business does is, if you want to grow it, it forces you to deal with your shit. I said it. It forces you to unpack your baggage. It forces you to take a look at your stuff and figure yourself out. Why is that so awesome? Because it makes you have a better life. Because on the other side of it, you're a better human. And I'll tell you this, I believe, because I've seen this for 14 years. I've seen it for 14 years. So it would be very hard for someone to convince me otherwise. I've seen it for 14 years. When I tell you that I am not the same person in the best way today than I was 14 years ago, I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. Like the freaking work that has happened in my head, and thank goodness for it. It's all because of coaching. And so when I share stuff with you, it's because I've seen it and I've lived it, right? It's not just because I've pulled it out of the air and gone, let me just say this. No, it's because I've seen it and I've lived it. And the people who step back from coaching, the people who won't say yes to coaching, the people who are like, oh, that's not for me, I'm going to tell you are the people who are often the most afraid of doing personal development. I said what I said. Because it's a challenge sometimes to look at the stuff you carry, but we also make it so much harder than it is. So much harder than it is. I mean, the stuff that I have unpacked, the generational baggage stuff that I've unpacked over the past couple of years, the healing that's had to happen over some hurt and all that, like all of this is personal growth, and all of it helps me build my business, because that's what this business is. It's a personal growth business. It also helps me get healthy and fit and make income. Like that's what this is. So when people say to me, well, I don't want to talk about coaching, I'm like, well, then you can't be on Energize Live, because everything that I share on here, everything that I do in the Daily Dose of Real Talk, like everything in my life has come from my journey with coaching, because my journey with coaching is a personal growth journey. It's a personal growth journey. And you've got to unpack this stuff to grow a business. And the beautiful result of that is you get to unpack the stuff to grow a business that also grows your life. And the people that step back from that, the people that won't say yes to that, I think are so afraid of digging into that stuff and doing the work. And that makes me sad, because this beautiful, vibrant, next level life awaits you on the other side of that hard work, the next level of you. And when you get in community with other women who want to, who don't want to be a lady who lunches, who want to be a lady who launches, when you get in community with other women who truly are on a mission to level up their lives, like there's nothing like it. The collective force, the collective energy, there's nothing like that. And so it's so interesting to me when I say, okay, what do you want to talk about? And there's like 3 pages of tell us more about coaching. I'm like, what do you want me to tell you? It's a personal growth journey wrapped up in an opportunity to live your most healthy, fit life and make some money. And if you're willing to do the work on yourself, you literally will blow your own mind. Literally. You will I can't, there's no other way to explain it. Because if you would have told me 14 years ago that I would be living in Florida right now, I'd be like, oh, we can't even pay our bills. I don't know what you're talking about. You have to grow into the kind of human who believes that you can do great things in your life. And that's what this business does. It helps you grow into the kind of human. It's not about the income or it is about you have to grow into the kind of human who actually believes you can get it done. And you are surrounded by other people who are growing into that kind of human too, and who also believe in you. The coaches on my team, I believe in the greatness of this business 100%. I know it because I live it and I see it. And I believe in my coaches, and I believe in the greatness that every human being has in them, specifically women. I said what I said, specifically women. I believe that women have so much untapped greatness, and we live in these little boxes, and that's why sometimes we ask these silly questions, or we live in fear, or we don't say yes, whatever, because we live in these silly little boxes that we've been told we have to live in. And man, when you break out of that box and you start to tap into your potential, and then you tap into the potential of this business, and you put the two of them together, watch out. Watch out. No wonder you're nervous. Because you're like, freaking A, I can actually move to Florida. I can actually do this. I can actually do that. Like, I'm in control? Yes, you are. That takes personal growth. And that's what this business is. It's a personal growth business. So we could have all kinds of conversations. Tell me the behind the scenes stuff. Tell me the da-da-da. Oh, what do you want to know? Show up and do the work on you. Because when you do the work on you, you grow yourself, which by default grows your business, but even better, grows your life. It grows your life. Like, I am such a better parent to my daughters now, even now, than I was because of the personal growth. I'm a much better spouse than I was. We have much better conversations, much deeper conversations, much more transparent conversations. We have a better relationship. I feel like, and I hope my coaches agree, I feel like every day I'm getting better as a leader to my coaches. That's my goal. That's my goal. That's what I want when I wake up in the morning, is how can I just be a little bit better today? And to be in a business that is the catalyst, that's the push, that's the culture. And then to be surrounded by other people who want to do that too. And then you're like, oh, I don't want to do that coaching thing. Girl. I don't get it. So here's what we're going to do this week. I'll be here on Wednesday again. Tomorrow, Energize Live is in my team page. Wednesday, Energize Live is right here. And then Wednesday, during the day, some leaders and I on my team are doing this Facebook group where you listen to me all day long. Like, sometimes aren't you like, freak JV, zip it. We're so tired of you. We're really tired of you, JV. So to that, because I'm sure you're like my children, we're really tired of you. Some of my leaders and I are doing this little Facebook group where we're just going to pop in throughout the day live and share kind of our stories, because I think sometimes we get these weird misconceptions that no one told us. We just made up in our head. I'm saying it. Sometimes people, we just make shit up in our head. I said it. I said what I said. And we get these misconceptions about how you have to build a business, or the kind of person to be like, it's the only thing that you can do, or I don't even know. So because you listen to me all the time, we decided that it would be kind of cool if we did this little Facebook group where just popping in throughout the day are some leaders on our team that are just sharing their stories, like 3 to 5 minutes. Like, nobody has time for anything longer than that, right? Like, what, you have 10 minutes to listen to somebody's story? No, you do not. So like, Molly will come on. Molly owns a dental practice. She's a full-time dentist who owns a dental practice with a husband and children. And she has big goals with her coaching business as well. So that might be a story that you relate to, or that maybe you've never heard before. Maybe all you hear is the stories of the people who do coaching all the time, and that's what you think it has to be. Well, we've got leaders on our team who are not. We've got all the stories. We're a big team. We're a 14-and-a-half-year veteran team. We got all the stories. So someone like Molly will come in and share. Someone like Karen, who teaches at a community college full-time and actually has a grandson, and she's going to come on and share. And then, so we've got some stories that are going to be shared in the Facebook group, including mine. But that way, if you want to be in it, you can come in and you can hear some stories of people who might be more connected with where you are in the season of life that you're in. So I'm going to talk about this on my stories so that you understand what I'm talking about. Again, in case you didn't listen to Energize Live, listen to me. You cannot be in this if you're already a coach, okay? I mean, y'all, you know that. You cannot come into our Facebook group and just hang out and listen to stories if you're already a coach, because you already get it. But if you're not a coach, and you're not a customer under someone else, then this could be a really cool way to you could just pop in and out during the day or go back at the end of the day and go, oh, here's like 2 or 3 little 3-minute stories. Let me listen to Molly's, who talks about working full time in their business. Let me listen to this, and you just kind of listen to some different stories and get some different information. That way you don't have to listen always to me, right? Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you. That is happening on Wednesday. And if that is something that would appeal to you and you'd like to kind of lurk around in a Facebook group and you are not a coach and you're not a customer of another coach, I want you to DM me. And we'll get you the link, and we'll have a conversation and we'll get you the link. And if you are a coach, while I'd love to have you, no, please no, go run your own. So tomorrow I'll be in my team page. Wednesday I'll be back here live. Thursday and then team page. And then Friday I think we'll be back on JV Sweat Nation. Who's going out of town for Labor Day weekend? Is this a thing? Is this a thing that we do? I don't know. Gina, you watched Molly on the national... I don't know. Gina, I'm not sure. I don't think you know. So I don't know what your question is. Okay, so that's what I have for you today on this Monday. So you're going to go listen to that podcast, The Skinny Confidential. Go get that book, The Soul of Money, if you have not read it. DM me if you want in this little Facebook group on Wednesday and you're not a coach or working with another coach. And also go listen to my daily dose of real talk today, because I think it's a good one. It's a very simple word swap. Go listen to my daily dose of real talk. And if it resonates with you, will you do me a favor and share it? Because, something that Brendon Burchard, author, speaker Brendon Burchard, says all the time, and I really believe that we have to be the spreaders of positive energy, right? We have to be the spreaders of positive energy. And if we want more positive energy in the world, we can't just say, I wish there was more positive energy in the world. Remember the conversations we've had? I wish somebody would do something about this. You're the somebody, okay? You are the somebody. So rather than this, I wish there was more positive energy in this world. I wish people weren't so negative on social media. Knock it off. You be the person, okay? So if any of my daily dose of real talks or energized lives, if they resonate with you, share them. Because that's how we are, the spreaders of positive energy. We don't just get to complain about the thing. We have to be part of the solution. So if you want more positive energy in the world, you want to see more positivity on your social media platforms, create it, be it, share it. So if any of those resonate with you and you think other people would benefit from them, will you share those? Because I think that we just need that reminder sometimes that we have to be the positive energy. And I also would love to know what you think about today's daily dose, because it's super simple, but can change everything. Literally. So simple, can change your entire vibe. Okay. So podcast, book, you'll DM me about the coaching Facebook group that's happening on Wednesday. DM me with anything else, any other of your other questions. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna take a walk. Today's freaking leg day, Joel. Freaking leg day. I gotta gear up to go do leg day. You don't have to be motivated. You just have to have a habit, and the habit is I'm gonna press play today. Go make it a magical Monday. Thank you so much for being here. Literally. The fact that you get up, you get on in this community, 6:15 on a Monday morning. Do you know how much that says about you, the kind of human that you want to become? That's a big freaking deal. Pat yourself on the back. Big freaking deal. Super proud of you. Go make it a magical Monday.